Welcome to Mindfucks with Mahara, where we flip your perspective, challenge your thinking, and leave you feeling surprisingly amazing about it all. I'm your host, Mahara, and this podcast is for the rebels ready to rage against their comfort zone, for those willing to flip their finger at mediocrity and sit in the fire of discomfort, knowing that's where the magic happens. Each episode, I'll share insights that might just blow your mind in the best possible way. So if you are ready to have your world rocked and your thoughts rewired, you are in the right place. Let's dive in. Welcome back, Truth Warriors. It's Mahara Wayman here. And today we're going to dive into something that's been masquerading as spiritual virtue while actually keeping you trapped in mediocrity. Oh, where's she going today? That's what you guys are thinking. It's this toxic idea that playing small somehow makes you more evolved. Let's get one thing crystal clear. Diminishing your light isn't spiritual enlightenment. It's spiritual bullshit. Here's your wake-up call. While you're busy hiding your gifts and downplaying your talents in the name of humility, you're actually committing like the gravest spiritual crime, denying the world the magic that you were born to share. And honey, that's not humility, okay? That's fear wearing a spiritual costume. Let's sit for a minute. I want to share my story with you about this. For years, I was the queen of spiritual bypassing. I tell myself that wanting recognition or impact was ego, that, desiring abundance was materialistic, that speaking my truth boldly was unspiritual. I would think about humility while secretly drowning in resentment, while others seem to jump up and claim the spotlight that I so desperately wanted. So my spiritual awakening came with kind of a painful twist. It was when I realized I'd been using spirituality as an excuse to avoid the terrifying responsibility of my own power. Yes, you heard me. I remember this time sitting in a workshop where the facilitator asked us to write down our biggest dream if fear wasn't a factor. And I quickly grabbed my pen and I saw everyone around me was writing furiously, but I just sat there paralyzed because admitting what I truly wanted, God, it felt so presumptuous. Who was I to want to impact thousands? Who was I to desire a platform? Who was I to think my message mattered? Man, that was tough. And that moment broke me open because I realized my, quote, spiritual humility was actually spiritual arrogance, as if I knew better than the universe what my purpose and my potential should be. I mean, talk about ego. That's the ego talking, right? I was literally overriding divine design because I was too afraid to embrace the magnitude of my own power. I want you to think about that for yourself. And I'll be honest, the shift wasn't comfortable, let me tell you, because when I started owning my gifts without apology, when I started speaking my truth without diluting it and claiming my space without shrinking, I actually lost connection with people who were, shall we say, more comfortable with my smaller version. I faced criticism from some who wondered if, oh my God, has she lost her way? And truthfully, I battled my own conditioning that whispered I was being too much. But here's what actually happened when I stopped playing small. My impact grew and my work reached people that I never imagined. So, true story, just a few short weeks ago, somebody tagged me in a post about their experience listening to this very podcast. I was washing the dishes and I got tagged. So I opened it up and typically I'm like, oh, somebody's tagged me in a post because they were trying to sell me something. And then I realized what it was. It was a testimonial. I do not know this person. She was on a podcast, listening to a podcast that I was a guest on, was intrigued, went to my podcast, clicked on one of the Mindfuck episodes and just loved it. And I was gobsmacked. In fact, I got a little emotional and teary-eyed because I thought, yes, this is what it means to be authentic. And even just talking about it as a reminder is getting me emotional. I was so emotional that my husband he was in the the living room, said, honey, what's going on? And I blubbered out that I had this amazing testimonial about my podcast. And so that's my example of when I am authentic and owning my power, speaking my truth, being me. I have that's what I'm supposed to do because I'm reaching people. So this is also another example that as you do that, opportunities materialize that align perfectly with my soul's mission. This is what I meant to do. And most importantly, I'm in alignment with my purpose, and no amount of meditation or crystal healing has ever provided it like that. Why? Because I was finally honoring the truth of who I was created to be rather than hiding behind spiritual platitudes. So I want to get really honest here about all of the lies that we've been fed about humility. True humility isn't about making yourself small. God, no. It's about acknowledging the source of your gifts while using them to their fullest expression. Oh my God, it's not about denying your magnificence. It's recognizing that your magnificence isn't personal. This is big. It's flowing through you for a greater purpose. Think about it. If you believe in a divine force, creator, universe, source, whatever language works for you, why would that force create you with unique gifts, talents, and perspectives only for you to hide them away? Seriously, that's like getting someone a priceless treasure and watching them bury it in their backyard. Doesn't make sense, does it? What a huge cosmic waste. The first spiritual lie we need to dismantle is that wanting impact is somehow egotistical. I call bullshit. The desire to make a difference isn't ego. It's your soul's GPS trying to guide you toward your purpose. The ego isn't wanting impact. It's in believing that you can determine how that impact should look or limiting it because you're afraid of your own light. Holy moly. The second lie is that, putting yourself forward means putting others down. This scarcity mindset has infected our spiritual communities like a virus, all of our communities, quite frankly, because your rising doesn't require anyone else falling. In fact, when you rise fully into your power, you create an energetic permission slip for others to do the same because your light doesn't dim anyone else's. It ignites more lights around you. Doesn't that feel good? The third and most insidious lie is that power itself is somehow unspiritual. This one makes me want to actually scream because it's kept so many light workers playing in the shallow end of their potential. Okay, power isn't inherently corrupt. It's neutral. It's the intention behind power that determines whether it liberates or oppresses. And the world desperately needs people with spiritual awareness to step into their power rather than advocating it to those without consciousness. You know what's funny? How we have convinced ourselves that playing small is somehow noble. It's like saying, oh my God, look at me. I'm so spiritual. I barely exist. Meanwhile, the universe is like face palming themselves, wondering why you're treating your divine gifts like there's something to be ashamed of. I'm not doing that anymore. How about you? Hands up. Are you with me on this? Okay. If your hands are up, let's talk about what real spiritual power looks like. It's not meek or mild. Okay? It doesn't apologize for existing. It doesn't dilute its message to make others comfortable. That was a big one for me. Real spiritual power carries both fierce truth and compassionate love. It's bold enough to disrupt and gentle enough to heal. It's unapologetic about its gifts while humble about their source. Owning your magnificence isn't about inflating your ego, right? It's about aligning with your soul's truth. And when you deny your greatness, you're not being humble. You're literally arguing with how the universe designed you. And really, do we want to do that? It's exhausting. Truthfully, that argument is one you're destined to lose. So the question is, how do we make peace with our power? Good question. So first, we need to separate authentic power from the corrupted versions that we've witnessed, because it's all around us, right? Your power isn't about dominating others. It's about creating massive positive impact. It's not about being untouchable. It's about being so damn grounded in your truth that nothing can shake you. It's not about never making mistakes, God forbid. It's about having the courage to use your gifts even when you're afraid of getting it wrong, right? Making peace with your power really means accepting that you were born for impact. Every single one of you. Hello, born for impact. And not the impact someday when you're ready, or impact once in a while, or once you've checked all the spiritual boxes. Impact now, right now, with exactly who you are in this moment. It means releasing the fear that your light will blind others and trusting that those meant to receive your gifts will find them when you shine apologetically, right? Here's where most seekers fail. They intellectually understand they shouldn't play small, right? But they still wait for permission to be magnificent. I touched about this earlier in an earlier episode. They nod along to messages like this. Oh, that sounds good, sounds good. Then they go right back to hiding their gifts, downplaying their ambitions, and apologizing for their power. They say they want impact while sabotaging every opportunity for visibility. I'm putting my hand up for this one because I so relate. They claim they're ready to serve while keeping their wisdom locked in the vault of their fears. Hands up for that one too. Honest to God, guys, I've gone through all of this. The uncomfortable truth, though, is this. No one's going to give you permission to be as powerful as you truly are, right? The communities that profit from your smallness won't do it. The friends that are comfortable with your diminished version won't do it. Your own conditioned mind won't do it. You have to claim your magnificence despite every inner and outer voice telling you to tone it down. And that is hard, peeps. I've done it. I'm still working on it. And it is uncomfortable. Your ego's going to freak out about being visible. What the hell? Your inner critic's going to question your worthiness. I do talk about how to rephrase that, by the way, or reframe that. People around you will project their own fears onto your rising. The systems designed to keep spiritual seeking small will try to shame you back into your box. Your neighbors, your friends, your family, they may try to shame you back into your box. But on the other side of that discomfort, folks, is the alignment your soul has been craving, right? The exquisite relief of finally being who you were created to be without apology or diminishment. Truth, warriors, it's time to stop mistaking your fear for spiritual virtue. Your power isn't something to transcend. It's your divine birthright waiting to be fully claimed right now in this moment. The world doesn't need more spiritual seekers hiding in the shadows. Come out. It needs spiritual warriors brave enough to shine with their full, unapologetic light. So if this is resonating and you're ready to move from spiritual bypassing that's keeping you playing small, truly ready, not just intellectually in the ego curious, but truly ready, head over to my website, www.mindfulnesswithmahara, and sign up for my newsletter, Divine Disruption, your no bullshit spiritual guide, where I deliver raw, unfiltered spiritual guidance. I want you to remember something. The greatest spiritual service you can offer isn't pretending to be less than you are. That's just BS. It's embodying the fullness of who you were created to be. Your magnificence, well, it's not something to overcome through spiritual practice. It's something to express as your highest spiritual offering. This is Mahara Wayman reminding you that playing small isn't serving anyone, least of all the divine force that created you to shine. So stop calling your fear humility and start embracing the spiritual truth of your own magnificent power. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you next time. Peace out.